Turn it off. All right, ladies and gents, one and all, for another podcast, the Xperts podcast. Another week, another NFL Sunday episode brought to you by Sanzo Marek. With my co-host, we got again X Factor and we got G. What's good, guys?
What's good? Week 10.
Yeah, Sean.
That's how brought
Y'all can hear
into
me?
it. Yeah, man. You could ask. I freezing it.
Let's get in.
Somebody freezing. I don't know what that's me. That sounds
Sounds.
freezing. Yeah. Sounds. You backstage.
Sounds killed too.
You delayed on my end too, very low.
I have an excuse though.
You say backstage.
I thought about that Thursday night game first. But y'all try run on Sunday.
You want to talk about that? You want to pick up the Dolphins? I thought you want to skip past that.
Oh man. Yeah, let people give credit where it's due, man. I'm glad they hold Lamar because the guy who I playing this week in fantasy of Lamar is QB, so I was surprised. I thought Lamar's getting dropped 40 on me. Dog barely dropped 14.
Yeah, that was surprising. No one expected that.
I mean, Dolphins always had a good defense, It's just the fact that they can't stay healthy. Like the Dolphins probably they can't stay healthy to save their life.
Yeah, I mean, when Percent started, Tua was injured, right? He was on injury report, right? No?
Exactly. You got your quarterback always injured. You got Tua always injured. Then Brissett going down that game, he got injured. Then all
Man,
season
Tua,
their top cornerbacks was injured. Then they had linebacker issues. It's like they can't catch a break.
yeah. But the Ravens is a top team in the league, though. I mean, even with them 100% healthy, I didn't foresee them beating Lamar Jackson, slowing down Lamar Jackson like that.
Really?
It only takes a game. We ain't get off in a one game.
Yeah, that's why
Hey, listen,
that's why I like the NFL playoffs. Like, NFL playoffs is one shake you out. I don't care who's the top team. And that's why I always tell people, but NFL is much harder to win championships than any other sport because it ain't no serious. It ain't like baseball. You could lose game one, come back. It ain't like basketball. You could lose game one, come. It ain't like no other sport. That one, but you could go. Obviously, we saw the Patriots go 16-0, and you could be the top seed, and you come out and have a bad game, you lose the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Even with basketball, the biggest thing with coaches is adjustment after, game one, game two. The NFL, you don't get that. You don't get that opportunity. You just,
One shake and you out. One slip up and you was a fraud. Right. So yeah, though we got on the slate for today.
all right. So, first game we got is, nah, this, first game we got is Falcons Cowboys. That's our first one to call game.
Falcons Cowboys. How you feeling about that one?
Cowboys being embarrassed last week.
Embarrassed. Embarrassed.
Embarrassed last week. I mean, this a team who top three and ranked offense.
Mhm.
Losing to a very inconsistent Falcons team. I mean, a very inconsistent Broncos team.
Broncos team.
I think they coming for blood. And I mean, I always say this, and sometimes it don't be right, but you just have to. I think you have to go in with that expectation that they was embarrassed. They already proved themselves to be one of the top teams in the league, and they have to come out this week and keep that image.
Yeah.
So this is a game I expect. Even if they up 20, they still going for it. If they up 30, they still going for it because they trying to show people, okay, yeah, last week was a fluke. This is the real us. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I expect the Cowboys to come out in this one.
Yeah.
I don't
I,
expect.
I think
Go ahead.
I think they could be, like you said, they could be motivated after being beat last week. That was the first game since what, week 3 or something like that. The Doc threw less than 3 touchdowns. Some crazy number, I guess.
And, and
Um,
and that was his first. That was his first week back
and his first week back.
from injury.
So you take all that into account. Granted, they did win a win when they did win a game when he was out.
Hmm.
But that was his first week back, still adjusting and coming back from injury a little bit against this Falcons team, who, like you said, yeah, they had a few good wins this year, but overall they're a very inconsistent team. I think they could be out, like you say, to prove that hey, this that last week was a fluke. This us for the majority of the year. We still is a good team, so don't write us off or don't look at us as pretenders. We still is a really good team. So I got the Cowboys for this one.
Yeah. Uh, Next game, Saints and Titans.
I guess we could almost run back almost the same thing. Titans is, uh, well, I mean, no, not Saints and Titans. Saints and Titans. Titans coming off a big win last week without Adrian Henry. I mean, Adrian,
I mean,
yeah,
and that a
Henry,
big
Derrick
win is
Henry.
an understatement too, but because their defense was immaculate last game.
Exactly.
Their
AB didn't
defense
even
is
really play a big game.
right. Their defense kind of stepped up for the loss of Henry. Yeah, we
Yeah,
thought it would have been AP, but their defense kind of stepped up. So,
I guess.
and when I look at it, their defense actually played good the last three games. So
Definitely.
I think that's kind of the narrative here. I think that's when you talk about the next man up. I think they focus more on defense than trying to replenish or substitute that run game so much. And given that this is a Saints team that doesn't have their best player on the field right now because Kamara is out, and
Yeah.
Kamara is basically their savior in the run game, in the pass game.
So
Kamara does it all. So you then
without your
got a
best player,
right. So you then got a backup quarterback. And you got to start your savior out. And then you're going up against the Titans, revamped defense. I think the Titans got this one.
yeah, I think, like you said, you're going up against an injured Saints team, missing Jameis, missing Kamara. Travis Simeon, he played decently, I guess, last week. but I mean, he's still a backup for a reason, right?
Right.
So you have a compromised offense um, that at the end of the day, you're facing the Titans team. Julio Jones played good last week to make up for the absence of Derrick Henry as well. So you're facing a Titans team that finding ways to win even
Mhm.
without their best player.
They just put Julio on IR though.
That's
So
from
Julio,
IR.
yeah, so Julio out.
Yeah, boy.
But I mean,
Okay.
like I say, I guess their idea was not to focus so much on offense because, like I said, the defense has been playing tremendous since 3 weeks ago. So they have to find some offense. I think they're going to use AP more this week than last week. Obviously, last week, this first weekend, I don't
Yeah.
even think he had a week of practice. So you couldn't expect too much for him. But I think they're going to use him a lot more this week, especially because Julio's out. But yeah, they're gonna have to find some offense somehow. But that defense is gonna be the story of the day against the Saints.
Yeah. I think the defense is enough for them to just be able to get the win again against unmarked Saints team.
So, who you
We'll see
got?
what's gonna happen.
Cowboys or Falcons? I mean, Cowboys or Falcons.
Cowboy.
Titans or Saints.
Uh, um,
Kamara's out.
yeah, Camaro, but lousy Julio out too. So
Yeah.
um, I still getting the Saints win last week, right? So I think this their week to lose. So I guarantee Titans.
But still doing this thing. Jameis in there,
You see it there? You play TikTok with you see it there?
Yeah, he's still on the sideline on the clipboard.
Right.
He can
West
call the
Buffalo.
plays for them.
All right. Next game we got Jaguars and Colts.
Jaguars come off a big win last week.
Defensively, bro.
Big win.
So
Which means so.
That's a huge win.
That's a
don't let
that's
these
a
Huge win.
good
bottom
showing
feeding teams.
defensively, but they
Don't let
play
them
the
sneak
Bills
one
though.
good win on the other. Of course, everybody. I told you what the Bills was gonna do. The Bills played with them in some big defensive scheme. Wait, that don't mean he was a consistent team. Watch this week. Watch this week. You all picking since you all believe, but they beat the Bills. Pick the Jaguars. Then.
Okay, so Jaguars had one good game. I think even the game where they won before that wasn't even that good. But last game was pretty good. Last week was pretty good. But consistently throughout the season, the Colts have a top 7 offense. Right,
Yeah,
they've been
pick
consistent.
Jaguars, man. Since they
Yeah,
defense looks so good.
their record hasn't really,
Reflect.
right reflect. I think they have the worst record in the top 10 ranked offenses. So their record doesn't really reflect how good they've been. Um,
Don't forget the
that Jaguars defense though.
Colts played a very high, but yeah, I expect the Colts to start picking it up.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. We've seen flashes. We've seen the offense. We know that they're good. Um, yeah, I guess I can just predict. I can just go with the Jaguars team that's shown that they are bad throughout the entire season just because they had one good game. And,
Wow.
and, and on the flip side, the Colts have shown that they're good, but they just have multiple bad games. I think I got the Colts in this one.
Yeah, I'd say this. Like I pick in the Colts obviously. But hey, the Jaguars they defend the run pretty well, and the Colts do like to run the football. So you never know. There might be some interesting stuff going on there. But I picked the Colts because for the most part, Well, for the last like six, 7 games, the Colts have been a really good team. If we being even at the start, they started off rough, but they picked it up as the season went along, and then they have made a habit of beating the teams that they're supposed to beat.
Mhm.
So the Jaguars being one of those teams, uh, it should work out the same way. So I get on the Colts. We got next up.
All right, next is Bills Jets. I ain't gonna lie, I look scared for this Bills team. I look concerned for this Bills team now.
They got because of the embarrassment last week.
And not just last week. That's two. Okay, so that's 2 games they dropped. Last week was I guess the quality of the loss last week was surprising to me. Losing to the Titans. The Titans is a good team, and it was like a close game. They still could have win, but bro, not being able to score, not being able to get a touchdown on the Jags. At this point, I don't know. I like we always talked about the Bills trying to prove something. Josh Allen trying to prove something, trying to go with people's necks. But I think at this point, that working against him now when you're trying to do too much. And the Jags exposed that. I do think that he could get it together, but I think that it is cause for concern. That's 2 straight losses, and this Jets team ain't the Jets team that we've seen throughout the season because Mike White is a very good player. That
Pick the
being
Jets.
said, that being said, I got the Bills in this one. I got the Bills in this one, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think most of my predictions was more like the Bills are going to run away with this one, but I think this could be a close one.
Yeah, I agree with the Jets in this one. I don't really feel no
But you
degradation
a
with that.
sicko, boy. There's nothing wrong with you.
I agree with the Jets in this one. Mike White has reinvigorated this franchise. As much as I love Marvin Mahomes, he has not instilled the confidence in the coaching staff that they've been able to get out of a guy like Mike White, who's had really two to three really good games, right? And pulled off obviously an impressive win. The Bills have been slumping. They only lost 2 straight, but like you say, we thought they would have got it together after the bye week to
Hmm.
easily beat the Jaguars. They didn't do that. As the Jets record does look uh, as bad as the Jaguars on, but the Jets since Mike White has taken over has been a much better team, at least offensively. Defensively, they still is a train wreck. So this is like a sweet spot. Obviously, the Bills could reestablish themselves. Josh Allen could get a better rhythm than he had last week. They could put it off, but I still see a lot of problems there. Still see some flaws there. I guarantee the Jets on the upset, and this in New York as well. So I guarantee the Jets.
I mean, but the thing is, if it's any big team that's I guess upsettable, it's the Bills. Bro. Like, if it's any big team that you think a tolerable team can upset, at least for me, and I hire on the Bills, I think it's the Bills. So I understand your pick 100%. Who you got, low?
Yeah, but how much time? How much times do y'all want it? You just had it last week. You can't expect every toilet bowl team to beat a good team. That was the toilet bowl team last week that beat the Bills. At the end of the day, teams that are good and teams that are bad can start separating themselves later in the season. The Bills already lose 2 horrible games. Um, and I don't see them losing to the Jets. Like it's no way. They probably get torn apart the whole week. Josh Allen probably got blood in his eyes. It's just easy pickings today. Like, don't forget, you all talk about this Mike White, right? Don't make it seem like dog coming in here doing something crazy. Like he coming like Mahomes off the bench behind Alex Smith. At the end of the day, it's just that Zach Wilson was so trash and leading the league in interceptions that boy, you could have put friggin' you see them sign Joe Flacco. From you could sign Joe Flacco to think that he could fill a spot. That means to show you that way the ball low round here. So obviously Mike White come in and see a low fence and he say, hey, let me just step in here, don't throw interceptions, and I can look good. And that's what he doing basically. He ain't riddling off no big yards. He ain't throwing no 5 touchdowns a game. He ain't really being great. But at the same time, he filling in a spot that was so trash that he just looking good. That's just about it. But today, I feel like the Bills defense could step up. Mike Whitey ain't gonna have no easy walk in the park against that defense. And then Josh Allen them gotta make up for lost time. So you gotta put these stats up. So I expect this game to be a blowout, and I expect them to continue to pile on even in the fourth quarter.
You know the Jets their 2 wins come from big teams, right? The Bengals and
Well,
the Titans.
they done meet their quarter then.
Throwing,
Right.
throwing away the first one against the Titans, right? Because they had Zach Wilson as quarterback. I think since they've had Mike White at quarterback, they've not been a great team. They haven't been the toilet bowl train wreck that they was
I
to
agree.
start the season, and that's my rationale behind picking it. Um,
Yeah, I think this could be a close game.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a blow. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think as a New York man, so I go with the Jets. That's what we do it. Who next up?
We got Lions, Steelers.
Toilet bowls.
Now, one thing I can say about the Steelers have been a very consistent team. Uh, in terms of you ain't really getting nothing out of them on offense.
But Benny ain't playing today. I mean, I guess that makes it worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
That kind of
I think
supports
that
that
probably can make
supports
it
it.
better.
You think? You think
So
Mason
who's
Rudolph
starting
will
in
play
place
better?
him? Who's starting in place him?
Who?
Who's starting in place of
Mason
Rudolph?
Rudolph?
No, but
Rudolph.
If Mason play, they lose. If they let Haskins start, they have a
That's
chance
going
to
to be
win.
much better.
Mason playing?
Oh, if Mason starting, then they lose.
I know they wasn't going to let Hoskins start, but I don't know if that'd be much better. Um,
Ma-
Well,
Mason
I
is
mean, the
garbage.
Lions have been competitive. Lions have been competitive in not almost all their games. They've been competitive in a lot of games for a winless team.
Yeah.
I'll say that. For a winless team, they've been competitive in a lot of games. Um, but then you also look at it like it probably is a reason they winless. You know what I mean? And the one thing I can say, the Steelers defense has played better over the last few weeks. Najee Harris still doing anything on offense. Um, I think I'd probably go with the Steelers in a low scoring affair, a close one. That's if Mason Rudolph, he shouldn't do much worse than what Big Bear is doing. So I'll go
Yeah.
to Steelers in a close one.
Steelers got a top 10 defense. Lions don't have a top 20 nothing. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think Mason could manage the game at least, bro. All you gotta do, don't turn over the ball. Coach looking at
That's
him,
it.
bro. Mason, just don't turn over the ball. Just first of all, you get with the Harris on almost every play. First, second, then you throw it. You know what I mean? If we in a crunch, then you throw it. It's no way Mason could ruin this game against the Lions. The Steelers should take this one. I honestly don't see the Lions winning no more. I was seeing it, but they might actually go winless.
They had a few winnable games, but I just felt as if yeah.
Yeah, but
I know
that's my
what
point. Like, you think the opportunity can keep coming?
this
At
the
some
this
point,
the
that door gotta close.
this the week. This the
Just to
week.
be
What's
careful.
it?
This low fence this week. And at the end of the day, yeah, they have a great coach, but coaches don't be on the field. Mason is garbage, and I feel like Detroit, especially without Ben Roethlisberger playing, even though he still is garbage too, he at least extends plays. So sometimes he could give you that key first down. He could give you that key touchdown when needed. But other than that, a lot of their games, their record ain't bad, but a lot of their games have been flip floppy, and they could be easily 3-5 or something like that. And without Ben today, obviously you can stack the box. You ain't gonna let Najee Harris go crazy. You can stack the box. Um, Detroit has a okay defense. They got a good defensive line and some solid linebackers. Their weakness is their secondary, and even that ain't really a weakness because they have that young cornerback on that right side. But if you could stack the box and slow down Najee Harris, especially when you have a running team, um, I think this is the week they could pull it off. Probably in a close one, like 19-17 or something like that. But I give Detroit this my week to pick to win this team. You all pick to win this team over a game that they never could have win. I can pick to win this team today, at least over a team that they have a chance of winning. So I
He's
got
got it.
Detroit.
All right. Next game, Buccaneers and Washington football team.
Easy smoke.
It's pretty easy to
Washington
pick
bang up.
And
Obviously,
y'all bang up
they've been
too.
banged up all season. The wide
I'm gonna be
receivers
bang up.
bang up. Their defensive lineman now, I see, he's out. Um, and to be honest, coming off, I think they say Goodwin playing today. Mike Evans playing today. Antonio Brown isn't playing, but they can fill that void. They signed, I forget who they signed. They signed a receiver this week.
Gronk ain't
Um,
playing either. When was the last time Gronk played? They saved
Gronk
him
don't
for
have to play.
playoffs.
You gotta realize Gronk came out of
Yeah, yeah.
retirement, and they have two good tight ends with OJ Howard now fully back and Cameron Brate. So it's like, would I given Gronk all this midseason, knowing that Gronk injury prone? I wouldn't even bring Gronk back until probably the last two games just to get him up to game speed. And I still wouldn't let him play full games. It's just going out there running some routes, catch one, two, three ball, put him right back on the bench. Because you're gonna need Gronk in them playoff games, especially with Tom Brady. You're gonna need that safety blanket. So for now, I wouldn't put Gronk in there. To be honest, I think they're doing the same thing with Antonio Brown. Because don't forget now, like I told you with other teams, the longer you play with certain players and the longer you play at certain things, people start to figure you out. With this Buccaneers offense, I wouldn't say it's easy to figure out, but look what happened to Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. I don't care how good you is, people can figure you out. But if you keep a star out and you could still continue to win, and then going into the
Yeah,
playoffs, you'll be like, oh, Antonio Brown coming back. How is he going to fit? And then Antonio Brown coming there with 12 catches, 187 yards, two touchdowns. You're going to be like, wait, where the hell that come from? But that was always there.
that's that Greg Popovich mentality. That's
And
that
that's what they
Spurs
did with the
mentality.
Patriots. You didn't realize with the Patriots, Edelman or Gronk always be out mid-season. If they get one little toe turf, they out for 4 or 5 games, just so people can pick up your scheme. Then you put them back in week 16, 17 before the playoffs, get them some run. And then when you go in the playoffs, these two guys can torch you. Because even though they out for game time, Tom Brady building chemistry with them all week in practice. These fellas practicing. Gronk practice all week. Antonio Brown practice all week. So it's like, why they ain't playing? Oh, he ain't ready. Oh, okay. He ain't ready for y'all, and they know they play in Washington. What are you bringing Antonio Brown back and going for against Washington?
Play Washington, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Bucks have the number one ranked offense going into this week against a banged up Washington team. Like you say, and they just coming off their bye too.
Sure.
Exactly. And you know,
I think
Tom Brady
Washington
coming
could
off
try
the
and compete.
bye is be crazy.
I think
Yeah,
Washington could try and compete, but it just ain't gonna be enough. The Buccaneers offense is fine ways to win most games. I don't see it being any different here. I think they'll find a way to win this game. And that'll be that.
that's
Look at the
Bucks straight
Buccaneers.
across the board.
Yeah.
Next, we got Panthers Cardinals. Who the Panthers even starting as quarterback? Who's starting?
You
They're probably
got
starting PJ Walker.
your boy who used to be the star in the XFL, the PJ something Walker or something
PJ
like that.
Walker. PJ Walker. He's starting. I say they probably give him a week more to start. I think you may see some. Uh, you may see Cam today, maybe in a special packages probably. But I think if they give Cam a week to get acclimated, and I think Cam starts next week. That's my feeling. But
I
shout
mean,
out
that's
Cam for
all.
being back. I spoke to my Panthers after they obviously report. So the count for being back. Um, Cardinals still winning this game. Um, but I guess it'll be a good game to see. I guess Cam back inside of Broncos uniform.
Yeah, I mean Cardinals banged up. I think Murray is still out, but even so, uh,
Murray might not play. They might play Colt McCoy. I think they are. Also Chase Edmonds, so that's their backup to corner. He more of a like a pass catching running back. And then
it's
you got
Hopkins playing.
Hopkins. Even if he plays, obviously he ain't 100%. So it's like um, you still got AJ Green. I don't know if AJ Green played or not because he didn't even play last week. But my thing is, I mean, we got to pick one for our record, right? But for them, they could throw a game or two. Like honestly, I think they what 7-1, 8-1.
8-1.
Like come
You
on,
know,
like they done locked for the playoffs. Right now they playing for seeding basically. I wouldn't rush Kyler because, like I say, a lot of people are starting to adapt to that Bill Belichick mentality of where yeah you wanna explode in the regular season, but everybody realized that the reason why people like Tom Brady and Bill Belichick are so great is that they save their best for last. From ever since they lose that '07 Super Bowl, they realize that, boy, forget the regular season. It's time to say, hey, I don't care, even if we 15-0, rest your starters in the last game, get into the playoffs, and the key is winning championships. Obviously, 16-0, what they get? They ain't get nothing for that. I
Yeah,
mean, they get a division championship, but we get it almost every year. We play the Dolphins. Um, but now, as more teams you see now starting to say, okay, if my star is injured mid season or stuff, it ain't nothing rushing them back. At the end of the day, no matter what seed you is in the playoff, you have a chance. So it's like, yeah, the home field is be an advantage in a way, but once you make the playoffs, it's one shaking you out. So it's like I really gotta push too hard to say bring Kyler back so we can keep that number one seed and this and that. You don't need no one number one seed if Kyler ain't healthy, because you will get knocked off that one number one seed dead easy
yeah,
without
they're
Kyler
quick.
in that first game.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
mean,
I wouldn't
uh,
push it, and I still give the advantage to the Cardinals today. But I don't see Carolina winning, but I don't see it being a blowout neither because don't forget McCaffrey is back.
as I was gonna say,
Uh,
McCaffrey.
Gilmore is being playing more downs now, more snaps. He's being there. He's energizing that defense. So I see it being a good game. I see it being close. And then at the end, I expect the Cardinals to pull it out. But I wouldn't be surprised if they don't.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a closer game than most people expect, just because McCaffrey is back. But yeah, I just think that the cards in this one.
yeah, cards all around.
Next, we got Vikings and Chargers.
I just coming off a good win last week. Um, off a good win last week, and they maintain momentum against this Vikings team. It's a good question to ask. So I think it'll be good.
Uh, Chargers finally killed that slump they was in.
Uh-huh.
Vikings, like we've been saying all season, are still an inconsistent team. Uh, I think I got the Chargers in this one. I think they can get back to their ways. Given hopefully they have the momentum this week. They've been an all-around team for most of the season. Besides, some fall offs on defense, most notably their secondary. But the Vikings has been way too consistent for me to even make any positive prediction about their performance. I got the Chargers in this one.
I agree with the Chargers too, because in order to be a good team in this league, you got to be consistent. You done gone through your slump, your mid-season slump. Now it's time to pick it up. You got to string together wins. You can't have one on, one off like the Saints and all these other weird teams. You got to come out and say, hey, you got to put together at least 2, 3 wins to get you above, like, get you good level above 500. So when you do slip up a game or two, you still could maintain a good record and try to get into the playoffs. If you start going one on, one off, one off, one off, then when you do slip up again, then next thing you know, you start losing 2 in a row, 3 in a row, like what they did early in the season. So now is the
And
time to
it's
capitalize on teams that you could beat. And this is a winnable game. Not sleeping on the Vikings because obviously they could win any game too. But I going through a internal issue. Um, you got Dalvin Cook who has lawsuits against him. We don't know if he's gonna finish the season. You got Kirk Cousins. I see they're not listing him as injured, but I saw last game he looked like he had a little injury. And then you have a battle for wide receiver one because we all know who play fantasy, how Thielen used to carry on.
mm-hmm.
Now all of a sudden, it's like
Jefferson.
Jefferson is number one. Like dog is not drop back and look at Jefferson first. That's a first because boy Thielen used to be the man. Like Thielen
Yeah.
is the reason why Dick slide out because Dix was like, boy, I ain't come here to play wide receiver too. When I felt like, to be honest, athletically, I feel Diggs is better, but Thielen just has make it happen. He like a Edelman. Like if you look at them, you would be like, this guy really play football. And then when you see him on the field, it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, dog, nice. But now Jefferson come in, and just Jefferson got youth. He got athleticism. He got speed. He got good size, and it's almost like okay, feeling on the tail end of his career. So they soon have probably internal issues with that. So I say today the Chargers pull it out, not by much. We know Vikings are famous for driving down the field and getting in field goal range and then missing the game winning kick. So more than likely that's the MO today.
The
I
thing,
see Chargers going up late and Vikings driving the field and probably trying to tie the game with a field goal and miss.
but the thing is though, the Vikings so talented though. Like I really can't pinpoint what the issue is. Like they got a very good
No,
quarterback. They got very good receivers. They got a very good run game. Well, at least running backs. Like I honestly can't pinpoint what the issue is. At least offensively, they just
I
don't make it
mean,
happen.
yeah, they it like it's been like as father said, it's been some unfortunate circumstances, but they just can't pull off close games, pull off wins in close scenarios, and because of their talent, they've been able to compete in a lot of games, but it's just pulling off the wins. Um, and like we said already with the Chargers, if you're trying to be a good team in this league, you gotta win these games that you're supposed to win. Because against harder teams, the margin of error is that much smaller. So I expect uh I expect Eckler to have a big game today. I don't think the Vikings are too good at defending the run, and I expect the Chargers to just do enough just to get the W.
Yeah, I actually think this is going to be one of the closer games of the week. Because both teams are like basically the same thing with the Chargers. Very talented offensively, good running back, good core wide receivers, good quarterback. I maybe this game comes down to the defense, in which both defenses are middle of the pack defenses. Nothing special. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think this game's gonna be one of the closer games
And when it comes to even matchups, this is where star players make a difference. If you look at both teams, like you say, it's pretty even. The biggest discrepancy or the biggest X factor would be quarterback. Whereas Kirk Cousins is a okay quarterback or a good quarterback, he just isn't at that level anymore to compete to say with Herbert. Herbert is now on the incline of his career. And a game like this where you play in a middle of park defense against an average quarterback, this is where, okay, you make your statement that, okay, I ain't tier 3 no more as a quarterback. Put me in tier 2.
Yeah.
Fair, that's a fair assessment.
Next game we got Eagles and Broncos.
And obviously, I game with the Eagles. Um, the Broncos obviously in a rebuilding mode. They ain't really trying to do too much. They ain't trying to hurt the air too much. I
You
sorry for
said that.
good wide receivers like Judy and stuff like that.
Truly.
'Cause it ain't nothing worse than coming in the beginning of your career into a rebuild. You can kill about the first 3 to 4 years of your career, just suffering. And then by the time you do get good, it could be like, oh, you up for a big contract. Oh, but we done build this team. And the first person they can ship out is you. So it could be almost like what's the sense? It's almost like when people like Calvin Johnson went to Detroit. Like Detroit was garbage. They waste Calvin Johnson good years. And then when they did start making I think they make the playoffs like once or twice. It was like, okay, cool. But they ain't make no noise because now you got to pay Calvin Johnson. So now it becomes a roadblock of where either you can pay your superstar that you drafted here or you can continue to build your team, which they chose to continue to pay Calvin Johnson and Matt Stafford. But then we saw the team continue to go after that. Whereas you got teams like, let's say, the Patriots. The Patriots will draft anybody. They don't care who you is. They'll draft you and keep you for them first 4 cheap years. The day you come talking about contract extension, ain't nothing happening. Even Brady was getting 1 year contracts. Like,
Perfect.
ain't nothing happening when it comes to no contract extension when it comes to the Patriots. Even Gilmore was crying. Like, you could be the best in the league at your position, and Bill can say, yeah, but we could find someone else. Like, to be honest, that's how he found Gilmore, you know. People don't even know who Gilmore was before he came to the Patriots. We had Malcolm Butler. People was expecting Malcolm Butler to be big. And they was talking about why Bill don't give Malcolm Butler his extension. We let Malcolm Butler go and we signed Gilmore. Malcolm Butler turned into garbage. Gilmore turned into one of the best corners in the league. So it's like, okay, Bill can say, well, now you good. Go get paid someplace else. And we probably can build another cornerback, probably JC Jackson or whoever they decide to sign this offseason. And then that's just how the show can continue to roll. But uh, I see the Eagles beating the ground today in the run game and pulling this one out.
Yeah, I got the Eagles. The Broncos, I don't expect them to get an upset 2 weeks in a row. Um, as I already mentioned, this is not a team that's trying to win football games anymore. So it'd be very surprising to see them continuously pull off wins. And the Eagles have been playing better as of recent weeks. They've been playing like a really good football game. Um, so yeah, I'll go with the Eagles in this one.
I got the Broncos in this one. I think it's gonna be a upset.
Of
Broncos
course.
haven't win their last 2 games. Um, Defense top 10. Defense actually ranked top 2 fantasy wise. I think it could be the Broncos defense versus the Eagles offense. And surprisingly enough, given that they are a rebuilding team, I still think they have what it takes to beat the Eagles defensively. So I got the Broncos upsetting the Eagles in this one.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next, we got Chiefs Raiders. This is an 8 o'clock game. I have three highlight games after this, but the the Chiefs and the Raiders is the 8:20 game.
Uh, Chiefs coming off a win last week. I don't know if you would call that a good win. Coming off a win last week. They need to get momentum. We know the situations with Las Vegas. Um, I still ain't overly confident in picking um, KC though. Still ain't overly confident in picking KC. It feels it. They still have some holes that they need to address. Um, so I think with this one, I probably going with the Raiders to win this one.
This is going to be a close one. I got the injury report. Nobody released it. I forget. Uh, yeah, these are two evenly matched teams. Chiefs 5-4, Raiders 5-3. Um, the Raiders just have to be as resilient as possible given their off the field incidents, bro. It's been like what three so far. And
Yeah,
the Chiefs have on the court issues. They trying to figure out. We just got off the court issues. They trying to figure out. I think I got the Chiefs in this one. The Chiefs won the last two games. There has to be some momentum going there. The Raiders haven't just lost to the Giants last week. I think the Chiefs could pull this one off. The Giants could pull it off.
Yeah, again with the Chiefs too, because the Raiders just ain't ready yet. I feel like they could be a team that upset other teams in the playoff race. But as of now, the Chiefs, like you say, 5-4. You one game above 500. Like I said earlier, these are the times where you got to string together wins to get yourself 2, 3, 4 games above 500. So if you do lose one later on in the season, you don't you don't want to be teeter tottering on that 500 mark. You can win one, go 5-4, lose one, go 5-5, win one, go 6-5, lose again, go 6-6. Like that don't make sense. You gotta put together key wins. And the Raiders right now, Deshaun Jackson just reached. I feel like they can try to exploit that with him being a deep threat and Kansas City's secondary being so weak. But obviously Kansas City is now starting to make adjustments to where we know you're gonna try test our safety, so we running different schemes and what's not. And I just see Kansas City picking up momentum and not in a blowout like they normally would, but I see Kansas City pulling it out in the fourth quarter based on what they need to do.
Sounds Tuesday Raiders, right?
yeah, I got Raiders.
All right. So we got three key games this week. First one, 1 o'clock. Browns Patriots.
This should be
And
a really, really good game.
obviously we know we're gonna win this one. I game with the Patriots. That's easy. We got one of the top defense in the league. We got a QB who doesn't turn over the ball much. Um, we got a fresh running back because our starting running back is injured, so we got a young, fresh running back in there.
That's what
I
you
expect it
call
to
it.
be
Fresh. That's a positive. The backup
yeah, of
running
course,
back starting is a positive for y'all.
yeah, because Bill Belichick make it happen. You realize we had no name running backs our whole probably decade. Like we just make stars with anybody, bro. Like so, this is time to shine. He was a he was a shining running back in college. We got him in the late rounds, and I expect him to get his time now to shine. Um, the Browns don't have nothing today. They ain't got no running game because Kareem Hunt is out and Nick Chubb is out, and you got what a Dearness Johnson or whatever.
Dearness
Come
Johnson,
on,
who just had a monster game his first start.
okay, what I mean?
So you picking up your inexperienced running back,
Yeah,
but Dearness Johnson, who's already shown that he can hoop.
yeah, and we done said this last week that your first game usually be your best. Fellas done figure you out. They don't know how you gonna run. They don't know what hole you gonna hit. They don't watch especially the Patriots. They don't watch tape on you all week, brother. You might as well don't even try, and you better flip your game plan and try to run the whole totally different direction. But when it comes to the Patriots now, we got the fresh new back. We got the one y'all ain't never see. We got the one who can come and hit the hole that y'all didn't expect and was not so. At the end of the day, we got the advantage. And Baker just losing his best wide receiver that he never used. That takes a threat off the field. Also, you got Jarvis Landry still battling, coming back from injury. He isn't 100%. And then you got Peoples, who obviously is sneak guys, but you ain't gonna sneak Bill. Bill doesn't know that Peoples is a big threat now. You can think that, oh, yeah, no one know who this guy is no more. Trust me, they know exactly who he is, and they can be ready. The only way I see the Browns winning this game is in the trenches. If somehow that defensive line could dominate our offensive line that has injuries and that been switching in and out all season, if somehow that defensive line could disrupt that and put pressure on Mark Jones, then yeah, we might be in a tight. But other than that, if they can't get through that line, which they obviously could because they got Miles Garrett and Jadavian Clowney, but like I said, I'm running back to dig and eat because all them little dump offs, all them little shovel pass, all them little stuff, they get into the running back because Mark Jones ain't got much time in the back there. So I give him Patriots in a close game.
Uh,
Uh,
you
I think
said
if
you said that. Go ahead, Tans.
go ahead, Gary. I think if Nick Chubb was playing, I probably would have leaned Browns more strongly. Um, but I think this game is going to be one on the ground. I think Belichick is smart enough to know that the Browns are the best running team in the NFL. He's just going to force Baker to beat them. Um, and Baker's going to have to replicate what he did last week against the Bengals. He's going to have to do it again to a greater degree. So I just see it being a lot more pressure on Cleveland. I still think it's a close game either way, but I'd probably lean with the Patriots because I feel as if they'll have a better strategy with them Browns running game.
You usually talk about the Patriots defense, but the Patriots offense, going into this week, top 10 offense, 3 straight wins, a win, scoring 54 against the Jets. Like this offense ain't really middle of the park, like how they started off. Both teams are 5-4, but you said that with OBJ leaving, I'm the biggest threats off the field. But I think Baker has pressure lifted off of him now that OBJ is gone. Baker threw I think, 8 different receivers last game. None of them had over 3 receptions. So that goes to
But
show you he's
he was
spreading the
always
ball.
doing that though.
Right. So my
It
point is
wasn't
he's
like he
spreading the
was
ball.
forcing no ball to OBJ. Like even though OBJ wasn't catching no ball, he still was only throwing at him like 3 to 4 times a game. So he still was always spreading that ball around.
Right. So I mean it's hard to
That was actually the problem that OBJ had. That the problem was you ain't force feeding me and you want to spread the ball around. My thing is, in certain teams and certain games, you should feed your star. Like
Mhm.
you ain't go look at Dallas. Like Amari Cooper, yeah, you could give the ball around all game, but when you get in close game, that's Odell problem. When you get in tough situations and you getting long third down plays or tight third down plays or you get in the
Need to
fourth
go
quarter in
outside.
time to make big plays, you can't be spreading the ball around to no rookies and fellas who letting the ball bounce off their hand and fellas who ain't making the play and stuff. Like, bro, giving Odell the ball with 2 fellas on him sometimes is better than hitting a rookie coming across the middle.
We
Because these
we
fellas
talked
is
about
being
that talent being is it's a greater percentage to pass a double teamed OBJ than to a single covered
what?
rookie. I get that. I get what
Did
you're
we
saying.
just prove
I'm
this
saying
with the Cardinals?
I am agreeing with you. I'm saying
When
it is better.
when Kyler Murray roll the pocket and throw the ball to a triple covered Hopkins, he
Hmm.
get the touchdown and win the game. Last week or week or
Yeah,
he throw it to your boy on the right side,
AJ Green.
Baker
AJ
need to
Green.
realize
Don't
that,
talk.
wait,
Don't talk about AJ
yeah, you was
Green
a
like
star
AJ
QB,
Green is a.
but a star QB. But AJ ain't been AJ Green in about 3 seasons. Stop it now. Don't make it seem like this AJ Green of 2018 or 2017. This is AJ Green of
The point is.
2021. He is the same guy.
The point is. I
That's
agree
like
with you.
saying
I'm saying
Adrian
that.
Peterson going off for 200 yards today.
My point is, I can't believe you
Yeah,
compare
right
AJ
over.
Green. AP. That's that's
That's
a
how wash up
force.
AJ Green is, bro.
He's
AJ Green
struggling.
prime been gone, bro.
Anyway, I agree with you though. I'm saying it's better to throw to a double teamed OBJ than to throw to a single covered
Whoever.
People Jones or something. Right. Yeah, I agree with you. But I think Baker could spread the ball enough to make this Patriots defense work. I got the Browns in this one. And I don't think yeah, Chubb is a better running back than Dearness Johnson, but Dearness Johnson ain't no slump. So
By
they
far.
No,
still got the ground game. And I think OBJ with that pressure um, alleviated off of him for, trying to pass to OBJ. I think he's more comfortable in the pocket now. I think I got the Browns in this one.
Well, one thing I can tell you, ain't nobody been comfortable against the Patriots defense all season. Tom Brady, who come in there and been playing against that Patriots defense 20 years, wasn't comfortable. Um, the Bill, we play the Bills yet? I don't think we play the Bills yet, but no one has
No,
been
I
comfortable.
agree with you.
No quarterback, I would say.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
lost some games because running back play, but no quarterback has come in against the Patriots. Even when we lost, no quarterback has been comfortable against that Patriot defense all year.
I agree. But also, y'all didn't play any team with a run game like the Browns,
Yeah, that's a
right?
healthy run game, and they have Chubb and Hunt. You now have Dearness, who, like I say, hasn't proven to be consistent.
It's a second start.
Exactly. So this is what makes you consistent. You got to go there and put out good games. So you can't say, oh, automatically he had 100-yard game last time. Okay, like I said, I mean, you got to prove that you could do that 2, 3, 4 times in a row.
it's listen,
With this,
it's possible because like G said, he is a baller. Honestly, he is a baller. It's possible that he could come out and do it again. I just think I'd probably feel more safe with the pick for the Browns pick if I knew for sure Chubb was playing. If I knew for sure Nick Chubb was out there, I definitely feel more confident in the Browns. Picking off. But we'll see. Crazier things have happened. You know.
Yeah, don't worry. Patriots be
uh,
6-4, going for another division championship.
we got we got Seahawks Packers next game.
Mhm.
It's a 4:25 game. Seahawks
So
Packers.
we got two
This
quarterbacks
actually,
returning.
this actually could be a good game based on QB play. Um, we got two QBs coming back, two star QBs coming back. With two teams that you know not not been playing. I would say. I mean, they've not been playing, but the team hasn't really been playing good lately. Uh, Packers coming off a loss, with Jordan Love, and then you got the Seahawks who have been dropping in their division, and I don't know. Like, I think as much as I wouldn't like to see it, I think that Aaron Rodgers does make this a statement game. Coming back and realizing that, hey, you what, 7-2? Okay, cool. You got to start keeping up now. Can't let the Cardinals fill a gap for that voice. You got to keep the pressure on them. So it's like, yeah, the Seahawks are okay, but I give it to the Packers today. Not just because of Aaron Rodgers, but also because they have a nice defense. They have a number one quarterback who could at least give Metcalf a little problem. And then you got a running back and a wide receiver core. Whereas with the Seahawks, everything is basically on Russell and Metcalf. I mean, Lockett is be on and off, but they don't have no real tight end. They don't have no real running back. So they have deficiencies on offense. And Russell, even though he always come with this optimistic crap, or he feels good, he wants to do this, you ain't never know until you touch the field. Use a quarterback. One little hand, one little helmet hit. Even if he come on the center and that center push the ball too hard into your finger, you could re-injure that finger. So it's like, yeah, I expect him to come back and play a good game, but I give this one to the Packers just because of the overall team play, and then Aaron Rodgers coming back to prove his point.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
um, the underrated story in this game is the Packers defense, sixth ranked defense. I mean, the biggest story is always going to be Aaron Rodgers, right?
yeah,
And that overpowered offense, but that defense is pretty good too. Uh, and then like you say, Russell coming back off injury. I don't even think he know what he capable of just yet. Um, yeah, I think the Packers defense could actually hold them, and the Packers offense could do what it does. I got the Packers in this one.
yeah. I think it's a tough situation for Russell Wilson to come back in his first game against a team this good. Like you say, even if we would assume that Jordan Love was still starting, they still have a very good defense. Um, so you're talking about 3 week hiatus with an injured finger, right? So it's not going to be an easy adjustment. Him just coming back, just being the same player right away. I still think he probably has a good game just off of adrenaline and knowing that at the moment he's a veteran, so he knows the moment. But I think Aaron Rodgers comes back, he's probably least by uh, his injury status, I guess. I mean, COVID didn't sound like it being too bad. So uh, the Packers pull this one off. This is in Green Bay, and they continue to find ways to keep this season going. So I got the
And I think it's
Packers.
snowing too. I think it's snowing in Green Bay at this point. I think I read that somewhere. Yeah, Lambeau Field in the snow. And Aaron Rodgers didn't say he loved this weather.
Yeah. So home court advantage.
Yeah. Uh, right now, final game, key matchup. Rams, 49ers, Monday night.
That's an easy one for me. I gave it the Rams. I ain't even running on
Why
too
you
much. 49ers
why
could
you
do
had
what
this
they
game of
want.
the week again?
Ain't nobody care about the 49ers. As
Hello,
long
tell
as
me
Jimmy
this is the game of the
Garoppolo.
week. See him there?
Yeah, but still, nobody cares about the 49ers as long as Jimmy Garoppolo is QB. Now, don't get me wrong. This will be the game of the week because no one does care about the 49ers, but I still expect them to put up a fight. Like the
I think
49ers
this.
could come out there and actually make this a close game. Like
Hmm.
people have
It was,
seen the blueprint now. Like I say, people
uh,
starting to
I
figure
agree.
out Matthew Stafford. And even though you can't stop Cooper Cup, you might could slow other guys down. But the X factor now is gonna be OBJ because now you can't give Cooper Cup all that attention and let Robert Woods do crap. Robert Woods is now out for the season.
Yeah.
And yeah, Robert Woods is a quality wide receiver, but he's a quality number two. Now with Stafford, you get two number ones. You can't even call Odell a number two. Like you just have two number ones. So it's like anyway he go, he could turn left and throw a 50-yard touchdown. He could turn right and throw a 50-yard touchdown. And it's like who can stop this offense? Henderson is now becoming a nice plug for them. Um, yeah, Higby as tight end has been a good tight end for them. The offensive line is holding up, and then you just add more firepower on defense, where it's not just I keep telling people it's not just on the field. When you add guys like Jalen Ramsey, when you add guys like um, what's your boy from the Broncos name?
Vaughn Miller.
Vaughn Miller. Even if these guys ain't on the field, these guys are gonna give your linebackers and your safeties information that the average cornerback and the average linebacker is not gonna see. People like Vaughn Miller has been in this league multiple years. These guys have been at the top at their position. So when they come into your organization, if you was having linebacker issues, even if he is injured and not playing, he could now relate to the young guys. Hey, I can look at this and see, okay, now this is why you have a linebacker issue. All you gotta do is shift protection to the left, hit this gap. If the defensive line is rushing right, I need you to come off the like he can tell them certain things that they wouldn't normally get, even though they have a linebacker coach. Most of the time, these linebacker coaches like it's almost like politics. They know the coach. There's someone's son. There's someone nephew. There's someone who they know who came up through the ranks or someone who they have favor with. But now you got a guy who
Chris, you on mute?
Yeah, that's the longest drive we've been. He got the whole show. Um, yeah, but no, going back to what he was saying, yeah, I agree with him 100%. I think even if the guys are not on the field, they Pro Bowlers, they Hall of Famers at that position, so they could see things that other people can't see, and will be able to coach them and probably give a more accurate coaching than the actual linebacker coach. So when you add guys like that, the team overall gets better, and then the confidence of the team too. Like, I mean, Matthew Stafford is 100% confident knowing the two receivers, the two wide receiver, one receivers he have up there. The defense is 100% confident knowing who they got on the defensive line. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I got the Rams in this one.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure Rams straight across the board, right?
Yeah. Matthew Stafford struggles aside. Like you said, this team is too deep, too experienced. Has too many weapons on both sides of the football. Um, I don't expect them to lose this game as they start to ramp up, get ready to a playoff run, and they try to work in new additions, work in OBJ, continue to work in Vaughn Miller. Um, yeah, I just think it's too much fireballs on both sides. So
And
I
then
would
and
definitely
then
pick the Rams one
right,
easily.
and then too, it's expectations that come with basically building a super team too, right? And these guys know that, and they just lost last week, so the expectations of them being a super team, teams could be after them, so they know they got to come with that added motivation. That's one, and then having just lose last week, in which any losses are upset loss for them, that's added motivation as well. So they should be coming out trying to make a statement to the league that yeah, we getting all this firepower and we can show you what we can do with this firepower. The team that's no regular team. So they should be coming out for blood this week.
Most definitely. We got a comment from GD 500. So what do you think you should throw 100 bucks on? Should you throw 100 bucks on Tom Brady going for 4 more TDs today, or running for 7 yards? What you think? You think Tom Brady goes for 4 more touchdowns today?
Definitely the 7 yards, bro.
I go with 7 yards.
Definitely the
Go
seven
with go,
yards.
go for the safe yard. Go for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
safe one. 7 yards.
I think that's what I say.
It's like he might get 5 yards.
really is. Wait, y'all sickos too.
What
Y'all
we
are
say? What we
horrible.
we agree
Ooh,
with you, bro. What we
wait,
say?
what you say? You say go for Tom Brady at the 7 yards?
Yeah, but
How? When? Wait, give me a game Tom Brady run for 7 yards, boy.
yeah, but okay, Tom ain't throwing no 4 touchdowns every week.
But
He throwing 4 touchdowns today.
he ain't never say every week, But it's a higher chance of Tom Brady throwing 6 touchdowns today than
I
running for
think
6 yards.
I think two of
Tom
those
Brady has
things.
thrown more touchdowns than yards in his career. Go and see if Tom Brady has 600 rushing yards in his career.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
two of those
I
things.
think he does. I think he does have like 1,000, but that's them third and one type crap.
I think two of those things is far fetched, to be honest. This week,
Really?
That's right.
not
I only
ever,
throwing
not.
4 today.
I mean, this week.
Who they playing
Yeah.
again?
coming off a bye, things could be that easy. Tom could throw 1, 2 touchdowns.
Man, watching it.
The running back are
Washington.
running for two. The running back are running for 2 touchdowns, and then they can sit him.
All right, good. I'm glad this boy put this on you. Tom Brady game for 40. Tom Brady throwing 4 touchdowns today. I know one thing. He ain't running for 7.
If this was a competitive game, I would say the 4 touchdowns. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think Tom's going to throw
Exactly.
2 touchdowns. I think the running back is going to get 2
But
touchdowns, and then that could be it.
I guarantee you, Tom Brady could throw for 2 touchdowns probably in the first quarter. Exactly. Don't forget, there's takeaway for when you do them kneel downs. And I don't know if quarterback sacks is take away from your yards too. Sacks don't take away from your passing yards. But I think sacks that may I
I
don't
think
sure
we
I ain't
go
sure.
I
over.
don't think so. I don't think sacks take away from the yards. You ain't rushing.
Sack should but it don't take away from your
I
passing.
think. I
So what
think
does
if
it
you
come away from? I
I
think
think
it's
if you attempt to rush, it will take away from your rushing yard. But I don't think so. If you that don't take away from your passing yards. No way. Single on the beach, chilling.
Hey, you're true, I don't know.
Be
Life
dangerous.
good.
It'll be dangerous with it.
Life good.
Uh,
But
That's
yeah,
something. That's something we can look out for. I mean, obviously we know Tom Brady don't rush. That's why it's a bet, right? But I don't see him throwing 4 touchdowns today. I'm not saying that he can. I just think it's going to be a blowout. And Tom
I mean, I
and the
think it's more
Buccaneers,
likely that he could
the
throw for 4 touchdowns. I just don't
yeah,
think
he
he's running
definitely
them out
could. But the Buccaneers just don't strike me as a team that just is trying to,
but
destroy everybody
Tom
team.
Brady would tuck and lay down on that ground before he flush out of that pocket and run for 7 yards. The last time I think Tom Brady run for what that was, couple yards, I think that may have been the Patriots. And he had the first down where he could have run for 10 yards and dog slide because he is like, boy, I think I can make that. And he was open. He was open. Even in the press conference, he's like, man, I think I could have gotten 10 yards. Yeah, too late now.
All right. Well, all right, DG500. This is our Tom Brady specialist. He got, he's the
I
greatest
know
Tom
one
Brady
thing.
fan in the world.
But when he throw that
You got
4 touchdown, you better cut your phone off. Because y'all go this man $100.
no. We go with our Tom Brady specialist. So we telling you, listen to
No
our Tom Brady
man,
specialist.
y'all done tell dog, go with
Uh,
the 7 yards.
and put
Don't
your
try
$100
switch
on the
now.
4 touchdowns. No, we ain't switching. I tell you what I think. He tell you what he think. But use the Tom Brady specialist. So at the end of the day, we going with you.
No, don't go with me. Don't go with me. Go with what you think you going with. Don't
No, we're
mind
gonna
me.
be good.
I going with my 4 touchdowns. But go with your 7 yards though. He might get both.
If you get both, that'll be funny though.
I
that'd be
want him
funny
up
day if you
7.
get.
I want him up 7 when they kneeling. I
Check.
want him get 7 and y'all start talking and say, boy, Tom Brady get 7, boy. And then at the end of the game, he come in the game and kneel down twice and end with 5.
Hey, the dude say he run for 7 yards. At that point, he said would have run for 7 yards.
No,
Oh
no,
man,
no,
he did.
no. It's the stats. It's what's count. It's the stats at the end of the game. You can't say I run for 7 yards and then I lose 2, I get 5. In the record book, they put in 5.
Yeah, but that's our picks though.
Yep, those are our picks. Love them, hate them. Let us know. Respond in the comments. Uh,
Oh, I even think this happened before. Remember the game when he did break the 1,000 yard rushing for his career and they blow the team out. And at the end of the game, they was telling him he can't kneel because then he'd go back under 1,000 yards. So he had to do a sneak and push forward.
Mm,
I think that
nah,
was last season, I think.
see, that's how I use the specialist. I GT 500. So if you actually win some money, then divvy it up. Give us our share.
Yeah, I
We
ain't
got
get much money.
lawyers.
Just
But
remember these fellas picked the 7 yards. When he threw that 4 touchdown, I hope
This
he ain't
looks so
picked the 7 yards.
selfish.
He can
So
throw
you
that
just
four
want
touchdown.
you want jet lag?
Mike Evans can catch probably two. The running back can catch one, and the tight end can catch another one.
They
That's
have
four
they
for the.
have they have Godwin as wide receiver one fantasy wise for the league. I mean, like they're saying he could score the most points fantasy wise.
Be minding that Godwin is a decoy. Even Godwin might catch one because once they get in the red zone, Tom Brady when Gronk in there, he's sure that to anybody. But yeah, I give the wide receivers three and a running back one.
Okay, just stay on the beach, bro. Stay on the beach. Leave our show. You get all the picks, right? You get all the games.
yeah. All right, so that's it for the day. We want to give a big shout out to our sponsors once again at Rev Trio. Big shout out to them for sponsoring us. Don't forget the NFL Sunday ticket package is still on. It's still available at Rev Trio to catch all of your Sunday NFL games. If you can't get you on ESPN, you can't get you on CBS, you can't get you on NBC, you could go right to call Rev, and they look you up at the Sunday ticket package. Every NFL Sunday game, all day, all Sunday. You can't beat that. If you're a triple play customer, a Rev Pure customer, that's no additional charge to you. So hit up Rev today, get your Sunday ticket package, and enjoy your football Sunday. Any final words before we sign off?
Uh, no, I mean I could think of. You could obviously the further stance is better odds. The good as a good any pass more chances all the time. But yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
gambling.
you're right. You're right. We take our take back. Our specialists put some sense into us. Four touchdowns is a higher percentage. I just don't think this game is gonna be. I think this game's gonna be a
Yeah,
blowout.
I need you to before this game, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Yeah, so until next time, be out. Catch y'all later. Appreciate all y'all for watching. We'll catch y'all next time. Be out.
Yeah.
Before we see myself.
Yeah, he was partying last night, bro. Birthday today.
Yeah,
You
you
bringing your
better.
birthday? You think your birthday today?
Huh?
No curfew last night. No, he was out tonight.
I'm hungry this today, man.
Can I call you home? Call you home time.
We watch. We watch everything now.
You calling this phone?
No, I can't anything. Hey, wait.
Yeah, answering his phone.
So, so yeah,
You
no,
know,
bro.
just
He
play
said,
but
"What?"
me. But trying to.
Push your back, sorry, yeah.
We